You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother.
All right.
Mainstream media. Government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, I want to move quick. I can spend an hour with each one of these guys calling in. It's just such a compendium of documentation that there are forces in the government that want gun confiscation, that want total dictatorial control. It's now happening. They're doing some of the biggest exercises ever. And it lists Texas as hostile in other areas. They're clearly getting ready for false flags. I don't know what's going to happen this summer. All I know is we have to investigate all of this, and we have to get a debate going about the fact that we're pretty much a dictatorship now. Even mainline constitutional scholars on both sides say that. So anything could happen in this climate of power grabbing. Derek, a data dump of the info, other points that people should know because you just got out of the military, working there at Fort Bragg. What's the big picture? Where do you think all this is going?
One of the big pitches is, Alex, is which you've been hitting on for a long time. The veterans and the care that they're given is going to continue to diminish. That's the first thing. The second thing we need to be aware of is that it's a foregone conclusion that Hillary Clinton is being groomed right now by the globalists to be installed. We already saw a massive attack on Ted Cruz once he just made an announcement only. We already see where the waters are going on there. Mm-hmm. The big thing that we need to emphasize is mission creep. Everything that you're talking about, if you notice it, if you chronologically categorize it, it's going in small increments.
Sure, they say the Patriot Act is for terrorists. Now it's for veterans. They say that the military is just going to help with some security. Next, they're knocking on your doors asking about your guns at Katrina and taking them. It's a power grab.
The last thing I'd like to say, Alex, is the one thing that you have to make the public aware of is it's going to be like the National Defense Authorization Act, how it was signed and slipped under the carpet at midnight on New Year's Eve while everybody was sleeping. And I can say, all I have to say is, God bless you, God bless Joe Biggs. You guys have a very, very massive campaign in front of you because as an airborne information warrior, my job is to test it and see where the atmospherics are on the streets. I've been to a lot of rallies and a lot of gatherings, and people are just not wanting to wake up. People are in that decadent trance. People are in that Stockholm Syndrome. They are in denial. We have to get that message out. It is an information war. We need more people out there.
God bless you, Derek. Thank you. Yeah, we have such prosperity because of freedom that we're just dead in the water. But it only took 3% to defeat King George. And that's what the globalists have to understand. And they do understand. And this is what I was told by a retired military officer about 5 years ago. And I never talk about it, even though it answered everything. I was saying, why are they targeting veterans? I mean, veterans haven't done any terror attacks. They're not doing anything wrong. Why are they teaching police that veterans will attack you, will kill you? I mean, it's in the mainstream news, that veterans are the #1 terror threat, and they believe they're going to IED every department. And he said to me, because they're going to take all of their benefits. And they've already started to do that, and they're not going to give them health care. And there are a bunch of veterans that are going to feel screwed over and are going to start taking it out. And if they don't, they'll stage something to make the veterans the enemy. So it's like when they attacked the bonus marchers from World War I who just wanted their promised bonuses, and they attacked a bunch of them. So the only enemy basically the globalists have left, they think, is the veterans. We're going to go to break. We got Sheriff Richard Mack coming on, but I'm going to push him back 5, 6, 7 minutes. I've got to go to John in Maryland, just got out of the Army. Tom, Vietnam vet on the takeover, target areas. And Bob, who just got out this year on the training. And we're not screening your calls. We're just making sure that you're former military or current to give us your take. And I wish people called in and disagree with me. But I know I'm right. I mean, it's all over the news that they're training the military to take on the American people. Why do you think the military is one of the most awake groups? And then the PSYOP, with the media making fun of us, they go, I thought the military's awake, Alex. Why are they coming to get us now? Knowing the public doesn't understand the whole military culture. They're following orders. We're trying to stop them getting bad orders. We're trying to stop our military being taken over. It's so simple.
Hey, how you doing, Al?
Good, brother.
Just recently started using your products. Everything you said about them is correct. Me and my wife both use a lot of them, and it's made a lot of changes in our lives here.
Well, thank you, brother. It's because it also funds our operation, but doing that, I know I've got to have the highest quality. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals.
We do the Super Male and the Super Female Vitality. Big changes, a lot of energy. We've gotten off of the cheap energy drinks, energy shots, saving a ton of money there.
Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency. They want us stunned and dumbed down, and energy drinks and stuff just cover that up for a while, but then burn you out, in my experience, whereas stuff that gets your glands naturally going goes right to the source. So it's pretty exciting, and I love it. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
One of the leading lights of actually fighting the globalist takeover plan, Sheriff Richard Mack, who shot down the Brady bill in the Supreme Court, will be joining us to talk about the power grabbing we're seeing right now. It's never been more obvious. You add the unprecedented move towards the executive branch towards a dictatorial office. That's Jonathan Turley, a big liberal, saying that. That's conservatives, top lawyers saying that as well, constitutional lawyers. You add that to unprecedented TSA on the streets, military drills all over the country with Homeland Security, training to take on veterans and gun owners. Last hour, I showed you the New York Times, AP, and Reuters saying Homeland Security's training to take on disgruntled vets. I can show you Janet Napolitano 2 years ago in the Washington Post. You can pull it up, saying she stands by that domestic group's the #1 threat. And in that group, veterans are #1. Bull! Bull! And they've got secret death lists. I mean, Joe Biggs went into the VA here in Austin, no exaggeration, more than 10 times. Shrapnel, bullet holes, coughing up blood. And they wouldn't even give him treatment. They just kept sending him back, sending him back. He's on a no-treat list. People with terminal stuff that can be corrected. There it is, Napolitano defends Homeland Security report on right-wing extremism. 2009, saying veterans are the #1 threat. And that was the document were leaked by a federal marshal. Okay? So this is going on. We're going to be talking to him in about 5-6 minutes. I want to go to John, Tom, and Bob. John just got out of the Army. What's your take on the expansion of Jade Helm to other states now, Mississippi and Florida?
Well, I was in the 82nd Airborne for 5 years, and then I got out and I transferred to the Maryland National Guard. I ended up in the Scouts because they took a look at my record. And when I ended up in the Scouts, they immediately tried to recruit me to the snipers. Now, they weren't sending me to sniper school. They just wanted to, train me up and get to know me before they spent any money on me, right? So I asked him what they do. And he said, oh, it's great, man, blah, blah, blah. We went down to the slums in Washington, D.C. last weekend, and we were with a bunch of other sniper units from various federal agencies like the FBI, DEA, ATF, and we all got dressed up in EPA jumpsuits and broke down their silenced sniper rifles and put them in EPA toolboxes, and they practiced infiltrating into projects and posting up in buildings. And I was like, that's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. And he just laughs at me, and he's like, oh, I don't have to follow the rules. Like, we're the Scout snipers. This is a regular Maryland National Guard unit telling me they don't have to follow the rules. And I was like, thanks, man. I'll just stick with my guys in the Scouts. I'm good. But immediately I was, like, ostracized. I was, like, not the guy to
Well, see, that's the plan. Let me tell you what would have happened if you went along with that. Then they'd say, now we're going to go raid some drug dealers. And then next it would be gun shops. And I mean, I've made films on this, interviewing the Marines, Army officers. I mean, one of them was, I'm not even allowed to say. The point is, this has been going on for 20 years, but it's been exponentially going up. Next, you'll go to your real mission. And that'll be going to churches and listening to people, hearing what's being said, filling out files. Then it'll be laundering money. Then it'll be drug dealing. Then it will be killing people. And the only reason I can tell you this is I've talked to so many people who are involved in it, and I've had family involved in it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. And I don't mean just one person in my family. This is a huge submerged iceberg of evil that is going on out there. And boy, as soon as you wouldn't be part of that, you got put on a list to be given the deadly vaccines, to be denied care once you need it in the VA, because you're an American patriot. You've now been listed for a purge when they take over. So that's why they know there's going to be a war with vets, because they're going to come after you, brother. And this is not alarmist, but I'm just telling you what happened, and I'm so sad this has happened. But now we're all in the info war. Anything else you can add, sir?
Yes. When I was in the regular Army, I had plenty of guys that, I mean, plenty of them, they just used to constantly say all the time, oh, I don't care if we're there to steal the oil, blah, blah, blah. I just want to kill people. They're not patriots. They're just brainwashed kids that have been sitting around playing video games. And once they do a couple years in the military, then they go to be, Johnny Special Forces. And I guarantee you they haven't changed their mentality. They just want to lift weights and take vitamin S and sit around and drink protein shakes and be tough guys. They don't read any books. They don't understand what's going on, and they refuse to look at the big picture. They absolutely refuse to look at the big picture. I was in the 3rd Brigade in the 82nd Airborne. They're in Iraq right now. We exclusively pulled security for Special Operations Forces. I'm not going to get into what we used to do, but it was really disturbing, and it made me sick to my stomach, and I used to cry myself to sleep.
I know what it is. You used to torture people.
I realized everything that all the liberals had been talking about when George Bush was in power was absolutely correct. But, now...
But they were only exposing it so they could get in power. Now it's worse under them.
Absolutely. That's what they do. Like a couple of middle school girls, they sit around and they make fun of each other, even though they're all engaged in the same BS.
Well, here's the deal, brother. They're coming after everybody now, and all these guys that think they're part of secret operations and it's fun to be a spy in America, it's called being a traitor. And you are going to be hung out to dry like Night of the Long Knives in 1933 once this New World Order comes into play. It's guaranteed, and it is so over the top. John, God bless you. I really appreciate your call. We've got Bob in Alabama, Navy, served until 2015, wants to comment. Tom in Pennsylvania, a vet on the takeover. Frank, ex-Marine, wants to talk about it. I've got to go to Jack I was thinking of Jack McClellan because he just died last year, and he was involved in Operation Vampire Killer, waking up the police and military.